Welcome back, and thank you for joining. Today we are going to be starting fully on the topic of financials, money, 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 money. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Mutia Talanio. Now, a lot of us would have thought that, why am I talking about money first? Okay, for someone that has divorced, someone that is widowed, a single again woman, why don't you start talking about spirituality and spirituality and spirituality? Well, let me tell you something. Money is very important. That's the first reason. Number two, money or financials has been one of the major problems that have put women in chaos today. Not only single again women, even women that are even in marriage right now. The problem about money is why a lot of women still stay in abusive marriages. They don't want to leave. Because when they leave, how would they take care of themselves? And maybe 4 to 5 kids, or some even have 7 kids. So if we don't talk about this money issue, it's going to be something that is still going to cause a lot of problems for us in the future. Now, financial management is very important, and it's a knowledge that everybody must have. Whether you are single, whether you're married, whether you're single again, it is very, very important. I'm going to be looking at scenarios to, expatiate on today's discussion. Now, and I want you to please go along with me, put comments, ask questions in the comment section, and, just communicate with me in the comment section if you have questions about this topic. So, let's look at this scenario. Scenario 1, the first scenario is that of a woman whose husband just passed on. He left a lot of wealth, or maybe a sizable amount of wealth for you and the kids. You have good in-laws that allow you access to this wealth or inheritance from your late husband. That is the first scenario. We're going to talk about it. How do you go about, starting all over again? Second scenario, husband dies, left a lot of money, in-laws came in, took charge of everything. You don't have anything. You once had a home, a house, a roof over your head, but now you are out in the streets. You don't have money. How do you go on from this? Third scenario, husband dies, no money. You were struggling even while he was alive. Now it's just you and the kids. What do you do about it? Let's call this scenario C. Scenario D, a woman got divorced. Most times divorces are usually very messy. So you come out of it, most times you don't even have any support. Fourth scenario, or is it fifth scenario? You came out of divorce, you have very loving, supportive community, good family to help you, good community of friends, you have a job. How do you maintain financial stability? Looking at all these scenarios, let's start from the first scenario. Now, most ladies, while in marriages, if you have a very loving, caring, supportive husband, we tend to depend solely on our husbands. A very responsible man takes care of his family in totality. He pays the house rent, or he builds a house for you. You have your own car. You don't know how he pays the school fees. He buys food home. He provides for all your needs. And maybe he tells you, okay, darling, don't work. Just stay at home, focus on the kids. And then all of a sudden, this loving man dies. And here you are. You may be a graduate, but you don't even know how to make money. Or maybe you don't even know how to manage money. That is why the man leaving money is really not the most important thing, but you being able to sustain, maintain, multiply this money over the years for your own benefit and for the benefit of your kids. Now, in our first scenario of the woman whose very loving husband has died and has left wealth, and you have a very good in-laws that has allowed you to have access to this, what do you do? What are the first things to do? Because if you're not careful, you will lose everything that this man has worked hard for and has left behind. You're going to lose it within a twinkle of an eye. There are so many scenarios, women in this situation, and after the husband dies. See, let me tell you, a woman that is going through pain as a result of the loss of a husband is very vulnerable. You have a lot of people around you. You don't even know those that love you and those that don't love you. You don't know those that are there, for your own benefits or for their own selfish benefits. So some people may even have that prior knowledge or information that, oh, she has money. And then, we have scenarios, stories of some men approaching this set of women for marriage, sometimes with good intention, most times, or in most cases that I've seen, with bad intention. So there is no problem, there is no issue at all with remarrying. I keep saying this, it is like the best. But it's something that you have to do. You have to be sure you are doing. And you have to really go into it with all your full senses. Now, imagine people or a man knowing that, oh, the husband has left wealth for her, has left money for her, and then, and you are so vulnerable. And then you are approached by this man. You don't even know his intention. And you fall in love. And you got married. And all your husband's wealth, or what he has left for you, is being managed by this new husband. And before you know it, everything is gone. This doesn't happen all the time. I am just saying in some cases. So now, what should you do if you fall into the category of the sister in category A? Husband passes on. You have wealth. You are very lucky to have good in-laws at hand who only want to support you. Your family too is also supportive. You have in-laws that want to support you. You have kids, maybe one, maybe two, maybe more than three. Then you have to think, how do I manage this thing that this very good man has left for me and my kids? So the first thing I would suggest, after the burial, if your late husband has a debt, or before the burial, if he has a debt, you make attempt to pay everything off. His will is shared according to your religious injunctions, and then what is left for you and the kids is what I want to talk about. Even if he has left 1 million for you, even if he has left 10 billion for you, see, you have to be extremely careful and calculative about it. I always recommend, that you give a charity, maybe an ongoing one, on behalf of this late man that has died, so that, it is like a source of continuous charity for him also, because he has really tried. Now, the remaining, how do you do it? How do you manage it? How do you maintain it? Let me ask you a question. Whether your husband dies leaving money, or whether he doesn't die, or whether he dies leaving nothing, you are still going to survive. I would advise that you assume that there is no money on ground. Put your mentality to it that we don't have any money. And if in doing this, it will make you to be extra prudent in spending that money, in securing your future and the future of your innocent kids. Because you don't want to lavish it within a short period of time. You are not the one that should be buying clothes and jewelries for parties. I'm not saying you should be gloomy. I don't appear gloomy. But you have to be very calculative. Not all Owambe or any party that people are having is meant for you. See, you cannot be going to party and buying clothes that people that have husbands are also buying. You are the only one. Even if you think you have a large reservoir of money, you have to be extremely careful about spending it. Now, assuming you have, let's say 50 million, 20 million, you have money, you have a home. Take a large chunk of that money. After the first few steps that I've talked about is done, take a large chunk of that money and invest immediately. Don't even think about it. You will be surprised that some friends will come to you to borrow. Even family members that know that you have money may want to, borrow from you. First few years after your husband has passed on is not a period for you to be a Mother Christmas. That is just the truth of the matter. You have to be very intentional about yourself, about your kids, and about your future. You have to invest immediately. And when I talk about investing, I'm not saying invest in business or start. Invest strategically. You are going to invest a large chunk of that money, and then you are going to invest in yourself too, because this is not the time for you to be lazy.